Hey, welcome everyone. This video will teach you how to get Android Auto up and running as flawless as possible. Not perfect, I'll explain why, with GrapheneOS. Now, if you want to see the written version of this video, you can find a link to the website in the video description. So why is it a problem? There are some things to cover in here, and I'll try to help you fix it as much as possible. Whether using wired or wireless Android Auto, both of them have their nuances. In fact, there are some weird nuances like you could have an app that's compatible with Android Auto and it just won't appear on your car dashboard. I'll also explain how I got around that and fix that. But why is this such a problem? It's similar to me when I wake up. You know, I make a lot of mistakes in life until I have my cup of coffee. After I have my cup of coffee and I'm a bit more wired, well, actually I make more mistakes in life after my caffeine fix. Okay, maybe I'm not a good example. But anyway, the problem with GrapheneOS and Android Auto is not GrapheneOS. It's Android, the entire ecosystem. So I'm going to cover this very quickly. There are too many flavors of Androids. The Android ecosystem has been very fragmented since almost the beginning. You have stock Android, which has become a heavy bloated mess from Google and their Pixel devices. Like back in the day of the Nexus 1, I think you would have Google Play, Gmail, and YouTube. That's it. Now they shove all their nonsensical apps you might not want, as well as AI garbage. So even stock Android has become bloated. Then Samsung has, I think, Samsung One UI, which is a different flavor of Android. It's their own customized version, which sucks. Then you have GrapheneOS, which is technically adding to the whole fragmentation problem. Argued is the best version of Android, but is still an issue nonetheless. Then, of course, across different devices, like even if you take the Samsung Galaxy S26, for one version of a phone, like Samsung, for example, they'll release 20 different versions across different regions around the world. Why? I have no idea. Some will have a different processor, different modem, blah, blah, blah. So it's very fragmented. Then to make things even worse is that the Android Auto dashboard in your car will have different hardware. Like Toyota will have something different built than Honda, for example. And then, of course, if you buy third-party wireless displays, like I did, and I put my wife's old RAV4, that introduces even more manufacturers and different compatibility issues. So even if you follow the instructions in this video, there's no guarantee these steps are going to work. It's not a GrapheneOS problem. It is an Android problem because even my wife's Galaxy S24, which she just used up until a month ago, until I converted her to GrapheneOS, even that has problems in our Toyota Highlander. But GrapheneOS works just fine. So it really does vary by the hardware, the operating system. There's too many variables, okay? So just keep that in mind. Also, if you're having GPS issues with GrapheneOS, this is the GrapheneOS problem. I figured out how to fix it and how to install and use Google Maps anonymously. So the GPS issue is on Google Maps, Magic Earth, Organic Maps, like just any GPS related thing. I have another video explaining how to get that done. A link to that is in the video description. We're not focusing on that right now. We're focusing simply on Android Auto, okay? Not GPS issues. What I'm gonna do is load up a profile that's strictly dedicated to Google Maps, because I use it anonymously. I'm not signed in with my Google account. I'll go over it very quickly and then we'll do it together. So in my GrapheneOS profile that is strictly dedicated to just Google Maps, you notice it's bare bones. That's the entire point, and I haven't even logged in with my Google account. How do you do that? You just get it from the Aurora store. You can find a whole bunch of other videos. Maybe I'll explain that in a future video, but that's not the point of this. I already explained this in another video about the whole GPS tracking thing. I explained how you can just get it from here and use Google Maps without a Google account because it doesn't require one. That's not what we're focusing on here. So we're using Google Maps. We have Android Auto. How do you get Android Auto? I would assume you would know how to do that if you have GrapheneOS. If not, you open the GrapheneOS App Store. And if you tap on Google Play Store or Google Play Services, it'll download those, which is a prerequisite, and then you also have to get Android Auto. So basically, you have to get Android Auto, Play Store, and Google Play Services. You do not have to log in to Play Store or Google Maps. You can simply go to Aurora Store, as I mentioned, and get Google Maps from there and use it anonymously, okay? And it works just fine. After Android Auto loads up, we're going to be focusing on a wired connection now. Honestly, it's really just plug and play in my experience. You plug it in, like I have to plug it into my Toyota Highlander. You have to kind of hold it in your hand because as you're plugging it the first time, you'll get some pop-ups on the phone and your dashboard on the screen of the car at the same time. And you have to grant permission access on the phone, then on the Toyota Highlander, or my situation is a Toyota Highlander, whatever your car is, and then it works. After that, I never have to hold the phone again. It just works, okay? It's pretty straightforward. But I was missing apps. So for example, I have this app called Musicolet. I listen to MP3s. I'm trying to go self-hosting a lot. This app is awesome for MP3 listening and is Android Auto compatible, but it didn't appear in Android Auto because I downloaded it from Aurora Store. If you look at the bottom here, you see the bottom, I downloaded it from Aurora Store. How did I get it to appear in Android Auto? You go to the main system settings menu of the profile that has Android Auto. You go to Apps, Sandbox, Google Play, Android Auto settings at the top, and you scroll all the way down to the bottom and keep tapping version number until you get a countdown and says, hey, you're like 3 taps away from becoming a developer. You'll notice in my situation, it says I'm already a developer. Once that's done and you unlock that feature, still on the same screen, when tap the hamburger or whatever the 3-dot menu is at the top right, and go to developer settings. Here, you want to scroll down and find unknown sources and make sure it is checked. It has to have a check mark. That's done. Cool. Now you go back and you scroll all the way to the top and you're looking for something called Customize Launcher. And then from here, apps not from Google Play Store, because I don't want to give my data to Google. Don't want them tracking me on Google Maps. I want to use it anonymously. You'll find your unknown sources apps, like mine is Musical.ly, for example, and make sure it has a check next to it. So originally it didn't. All I had to do was check it, and it appears on my Android Auto dashboard on my car. So Android Auto wired is pretty easy. If you're having still issues, try a different cable. Try the cable that came with your phone. If one end doesn't fit into the car, try different cables, different fittings. Try different ports if your car has different ports. It's just basic troubleshooting, basically, at the end of the day. Maybe try disabling your VPN if you have one, or any other services that might block Google Play services like that, or cause it to activate funky. VPN, I'm always able to use with a wired connection. So your mileage may vary, or perhaps it's just not compatible with your car, as I mentioned. The ecosystem is very fragmented. So Android Auto wired is pretty basic, pretty good to use. Wireless is a whole different story. Let me explain why. So we're going to pretend we're doing this all over again with a wireless connection for the first time. So we're going to swipe down, go to the main system settings menu again, go to apps, then Sandbox, Google Play. And this is the part that drove me crazy. And I had to find it on GrapheneOS documentation on their website, but it's still a little hard to find on their website. Then go to Android Auto. Android, and then here, so okay, sorry, not any further. See the second check right here, allow permissions for wireless Android Auto. By default, that was off. This was the biggest problem for me to make it work with my wireless dashboard. I had to flip this on, and then you get all these warnings about, hey, this is what happens when you turn it on. You just press allow and that's it. Allow permissions for wired Android Auto was already on. Wireless was off for some reason. Maybe it doesn't want any malicious Bluetooth connection connecting and stealing data. I don't know. Maybe that's why it was done. When that was done, it fixed a lot of the problems to a certain point. I'm going to switch over to some B-roll footage in the car, because what happens is that if you have a VPN on, if you're trying to be very privacy minded, with a wireless Android Auto, it doesn't play nice, because what happens is it has to do like a Bluetooth connection, does like a handshake and sync with your dashboard. After that, it has to establish a Wi-Fi connection with your dashboard. I don't know if this is because Android Auto is very data intensive to display and kind of, wirelessly display all your information with Google Maps, your music player, and other apps you might have installed, but because it has established that Wi-Fi connection, if you have VPN on, you get this red screen warning, basically literally saying something's not right here, including a possibility of a VPN connection. So you must have your VPN off. But the problem with turning VPN off is if you have a kill switch. A kill switch is basically that you set up your VPN in such a way that you cannot connect to anything without a VPN connection, because you really want to mask your IP address. Sorry, but that needs to be turned off, because otherwise you can't establish any connection at all without a VPN connection, right? So that's something to keep in mind. There are some other caveats that I noticed, is that with wireless Android Auto, sometimes it would work with this third-party dashboard that we put into my wife's old Toyota RAV4, and it works just fine. Other days, I would connect it in the exact same manner, everything identical, and music would play from my phone and not the car itself. It's weird because the Bluetooth connection is established, but when I hit the volume buttons up and down, I can see the volume symbol on the phone showing I'm increasing or decreasing volume on the phone itself and not the Bluetooth connection. Nothing would play through my car speakers. So that's another weird caveat that happens randomly. Why? I have no idea. Again, it's a fragmentation problem. Your mileage will vary. There's nothing we can do about this. If it doesn't work, you'll have to tinker and hope for the best, but this is a problem with any Android device across any Android Auto dashboard, right? So that's the end of this video. I do hope you found it useful. If you did, be sure to check out my website link in the video description. Hit the like button, it does help. Subscribe, it literally helps my channel grow, and thanks for watching.